Alright guys, welcome to Nagranda Arena. We have that Mage Boomkin Paladin going up against Ret Hunter Shaman here. Actually, just give me just one moment here.
We saw these compositions fight each other with Asber's team versus Zev's team, and this Mage Boomkin Paladin in particular weren't performing nearly as well as Asber's, so it's interesting to see that it does have some weaknesses when not played perfectly. So let's see if Flex Launcher can push through the impenetrable wall of crowd control that Hello from Zimbabwe is going to throw at them. Already building up icicles in the center of the map. Deep Freeze on the Jinzel, Solar Beam onto Rampant. They're trying to 100-0 him right here. He's going to trinket out of that, throw himself a defensive execution sentence, getting the bubble off at 13% as well. Now popping his own Avenging Wrath to try and make a turnaround here, I believe, onto Bert, but he's not taking too much damage. And now the swap over to Vireo, down to 30%. Jinzel having a hard time keeping up with this, but Bert getting chunked, has to get bopped there from the Murder of Crows damage from Vireo. Vireo needs to be a little bit aware of the situation, though, down to 40% with Jinzel in a bash. He's going to bop him out of the bash, get the heals rolling, and top him off.
Yeah, Jinzel actually getting cloned up as well as Polymorph, so a little bit of an overlap there, but will it matter? Rampart actually has his defensive wall up right now, Divine Protection. Behind the pillar, just going to be spamming out those flash of lights. He wants to top himself off as Jinzel's still not out of CC. That's the full Hodge, though, on a Rampant. Jinzel getting frosted up, deciding to use a Stone Form on that. He's going to have to push in. Finally, Jinzel can get some heals. The Ascendant's coming out from him. Bert taking a little bit of damage to full traps on a Rubbed Cub right now. He has no trinket available, but it broke. I think he might have sacked it. I'm not sure what exactly broke that full trap, but he is out. He's able to top off Bert. Bureau getting cycloned up right now. And both teams have stabilized at the moment, but Rampant really doesn't have too many cooldowns left. Jinzel still has Trinket as well as some links, so he's going to have that available. He's going to have to make sure he's closer to Rampant to actually get off those Spirit Links.
Yeah,
the full Hodge on a Rampant. Go ahead.
Sorry, Rampant into the Hodge as Asber pushes, or sorry, GSP pushes, and I'm so used to saying Asber. Jinzel caught into a full Polymorph, no sacrifice available. Rub Cubs into a Hodge now, looking to try and land the trap, but they cloned Vero up. Rampant doesn't have anything left here, down to 40%. It's going to be up to Jinzel to save him. He drops the Spirit Link here. Rub Cubs popping the Avenging Wrath here. Offensively, sacks the trap there. He's going to be able to keep Bert completely topped. Rampant, it's looking grim for him. He's trying to run away with the Freedom. The Starfires are connecting down to 26%. He barely gets out of line of sight at 15% HP, but now into the full Hodge he goes, and down he goes. The pressure is too much for him to handle, and that's going to be a quick game here, 2 minutes in.
Super quick game, man. That opener coming out from Hello from Zimbabwe did remind me quite a bit of Majin and Asper and Philora. Just so much burst so very quickly here. And they forced the bubble, and that's a really big deal that quickly, you know. But the first game is going to go to Hello from Zimbabwe here in this best-of-3 series in the lower bracket. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. I mean, this Ret Hunter Shaman team definitely are probably going to change something up here going into game number 2.
I don't know what they can really do.
I don't know.
It's really difficult for them.
I feel like the strategy that Wad, Ret, and Inviable were doing, like hugging the pillar, waiting for their cooldowns and stuff, might be a good option for them, but I'm not necessarily sure.
It's definitely a strategy that can work. It drags the game on a little bit, but I'm not sure it should work if they use their cooldowns properly. Like, if they're just going in for those one-shots and they rotate their cooldowns to survive those one-shots, unless they get really caught off guard, I think they should be able to live it. So it makes it really difficult, because I don't feel like they have any sort of advantage in dampening.
No, they don't.
Yeah, not at all.
Their advantage is crits. If I crit, he dies, and if I don't, then maybe he won't.
I don't, maybe he won't. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss thing, man.
I mean,
the Dr. Seuss book of WoW. I crit, he dies. If I don't, you won't. Wait, how'd it go? Anyway, here we go.
You already forgot. I'm not even going to correct this.
We're going to jump into the next map of this best-of-3 series, and it is going to be played out on Dalaran Sewers. Welcome to Dalaran Sewers. It is that Ret Hunter Shaman team going up against the Mage Boomkin Holy Pally. So far, Hello from Zimbabwe is looking super strong. But I don't know. Rampant, Virio, and Jinzel here to make a statement here in tournament number 16. Can they do it in this lower bracket? We're about to find out right now in just 9 seconds.
Yeah, and we're going to see if they decide to go all out here on Delaran Arena. It's their last chance to make a comeback. If they lose this game, they're out of the tournament, and Hello from Zimbabwe will progress. Rampant getting rooted in the center, trying to connect their GSP, already going for some early Cyclones. Jinzel able to line aside it easily. However, the Star Surge is being thrown onto Rampant. He's going to be put into the bash. He trinkets that Hodge Rub Cubs. He's going to drink it out of that. Throw the sacrifice onto GSP. The Barkskin used as well, taking an immense amount of pressure here. Murder of Crows still hasn't been used. Virio getting poly spammed out from Burt. Now Jinzel getting full polyed here. He does get the sacrifice out from Rampant, but the Avenging Wrath going to be fading here shortly as Rampant is getting crowd controlled with no trinket. Burt has the deep freeze available in 10 seconds. He's going to be looking to make a move when that happens.
Yeah, now Jinzel getting cloned out of that, and Rampant has no divine protection available for him. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble right now. Jinzel finally getting out of that CC. Virgo getting cloned up, and GSP doing an excellent job rotating his clones on the team of Flex Launcher. The Hodge going out on the Rampant. It's actually going to get dispelled by Jinzel, so a little bit of a mistake there. Rub Cubs going into the full Hodge, into a full trap, and now GSP in a lot of trouble. Save with the light procking on him. He's trying to get away. Rub Cubs actually deciding to bubble. He needed to there, and he's going to be able to top off GSP, but now GSP is in a position where Rubgubs isn't really going to be able to help him. He has no trinket, no bubble available. That was his Avenging Wrath as well, so he could be in quite a bit of trouble.
Yeah, he really could be. Avenging Wrath fading here in 8 seconds. Rampant's Avenging Wrath coming off cooldown in 50. They might be looking to coordinate that with the Murder of Crows. Rub Cubs into the Hodge. GSP dipping low down to 50%. Rub Cubs getting full trapped with no way out. Will GSP go down is the question. Down to 20%. He gets locked on his cast. 3%. He's going to get taken down. And Flex Launcher, man, pretty convincing that game. Pulling it out through here and just taking a game off them. 1-1 here. We've got a series.
We do
GSP,
indeed.
Yeah, I think GSP actually had his Barskin up for a little bit at the end. I don't know if it would have been enough to save him, but we'll have to look in the replay.
Yeah, I'm watching the replay right now as we speak. I'm checking it out, and the setup, the cross CC, even the Wervin going out on the Burt that he had to trinket, the full trap lands with no outs, and GSP did have that Barskin available for him, and I don't know. It comes off a cooldown right as the replay starts, so maybe that'd be enough to save him, but I don't know. Flex Launchers definitely looked a lot more convincing that game, and we're going to jump into the last map of this best-of-3 series between these two games. Both of them relatively new to GCD TV, trying to make a statement here, trying to make it through. Here we go. So, Hello from Zimbabwe just lost, so it's their map choice. So, is there a map that would give Hello from Zimbabwe an advantage against this Ret Hunter Shaman team running that Mage Boomkin?
I think they might be looking for a big map, so if I had to guess, they'd be going to something like Tolvaron. It's going to allow GSP to get away, just displace across the entire map, throw some heals on himself if he's ever in trouble. And really, they're going to have to pull out in the open if they want to connect on that Mage Boomkin team. So I think a bigger map definitely favors them.
That's really funny as you say that. They are going to bring it to Tolvaron Arena. Good call, buddy. All right, here we go. Mind Reader. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to jump into the last game of this best-of-3 series, and it will be played out on none other than Tolvaron Arena. Alright, here we go. We are on Tolvaron Arena. It's Flex Launcher versus Hello from Zimbabwe. Ret Hunter Shaman versus Mage Boomkin Holy Pally. So far, Flex Launcher has figured something out, and it seemed to look very confident. I mean, they forced a lot of defensive cooldowns there, but on a bigger map like this, I feel like they might have a harder time against a comp like Mage Boomkin Holy Pally. But we're about to find out here in just 14 seconds.
Yeah, and I imagine they're going to be going for GSP once again, finally finding a little bit of vulnerability in Hello from Zimbabwe, and they're going to need to exploit it as much as they can. as the gates do open here. Virio charging on his chicken mount. Taking the center right pillar, going into camo now. GSP in stealth, Bert not. He's going to be building up those icicles as soon as possible to get a lot of damage early on. Virio getting rooted up here. GSP trying to go for a cycling. He gets knocked on the clone. Rampant pops the Avenging Wrath, going for GSP's throat right now. He does get polyed up. He's actually going to trinket out of that to try and get some damage rolling, but now he's going to get full cloned as a result. GSP kites away. He's going to be able to survive only using the bar skin there. Rub Cubs has the Avenging Wrath available for the Murder of Crows. Should it be chosen to be thrown out here from Virio. Bert popping the Icy Veins to try and take Rampant down in a big turnaround. He's going to bubble that, immediately answering the Celestial Alignment. Good answer from Rampant, but that means he's going to have to be very defensive and cautious.
Yeah, but I think that was a good choice, not letting himself get too low, just bubbling. He knew he was going to be in a lot of trouble. GSP spamming out those Star Surges with the Celestial Alignment. Like you said, now Virio taking quite a bit of damage, having to use that deterrence. He still has one left available to him. Rampant getting swapped down too now, and both Virio and Rampant in a lot of trouble. The bash going out on the Rampant right now. Jinzel using that Aura Mastery and Ascendance to top off his team. Virio just getting spam Polymer. Bert and GSP doing work with their crowd controls at the moment. GSP looks like he's getting hit pretty hard right now. Rub Cub's deciding to answer that damage with his Avenging Wrath. He's going to be able to top off GSP, and Rampant's the one who's in trouble now. Has that Divine Protection up. Jinzel getting Polymorph, the sack coming out from him, as well as a Spirit Link, so many cooldowns being forced by Flex Launcher, and now Jinzel's still in trouble. He gets full cloned up, and Rampant's down to 30% HP, 3% HP, the second Spirit Link coming out from Jinzel, and Flex Launcher's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he really is. Rampant getting cloned up here. Virio trying to get anything accomplished, but he's just getting polymorphed over and over, and he's going to be until the Deep Freeze comes out for Bert to push in here. Denounce is flying in from Rub Cubs. It looks like Hello from Zimbabwe wants to put the last nail in the coffin right now as they're pushing in on top of Flex Launcher. GSP pushing in on the right-hand side. Bert looking for a polymorph here early on. Deep Freeze is now available for Bert. All they have to do is press the buttons and end the game. It's really in their favor. Rampant trying to line of sight here and keep the heals rolling. Jinzel playing forward here. Drops a Windwalk Totem to give his team a little bit more mobility. Rampant's pushing out, but Jinzel is polyed. The full bash on the Rampant. He gets the bop off on the bash, but will it be enough? He gets back to Jinzel here, stacks him out of the poly, pops the Avenging Wrath to try and make a turnaround onto GSP. Wyvern onto Bert. Good cross CC. Bert has to block that. Rub Cubs bubbles to keep GSP alive here, and in the face of death, Rampant laughs and makes a huge turnaround.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what he needed to do. His wings are fading, though, right now. And Bert's taking a lot of damage, down to 50% HP, hovering around 50% HP. Rub Cub's finally using that big heal to top him off. Sorry, the Execution Sentence, rather. GSP, the target of choice now. He still has his bar skin available if he needs it. Rub Cub's using that Avenging Wrath to top off GSP and stabilize his team. The Hodge, though, going out on the Rub Cubs at the moment. Jizzle into the full Deep Freeze Polymorph, and now into his second Polymorph after he gets sacked by Rampant there. The Frost Shot coming out. The CC just never ends. Deciding to use that Stone Form so he can get some heals on his team, finally getting topped off. And both teams are stabilized at the moment, but cooldowns being forced all over the place.
Yeah, Rampant pulling back here. He doesn't have a lot of damage available and no defensive cooldowns. No Spirit Link for 1 minute. I wouldn't hold it against Flex Launcher to want to bide their time and play it out here. Instead, Rampant charging to the center. Barskin is available for GSP, but so is Celestial Alignment. There's the cross you see. Wyvern onto Bert. He's actually going to trinket the Wyvern. GSP is able to dispel it. A little bit uncertain as to why he's using so many cooldowns to break it, but he's going to get himself out. GSP pops the Vigil here. Rampant could be in trouble. Celestial Alignment's available from GSP. He gets locked on the clone. Jinzel trinkets out of the poly to keep his team offensive. Unfortunately, he's going to get repolyed now. The CC's going to be ending here shortly if they can interrupt the Cyclones. A full trap landed onto Rub Cubs. They're looking to take GSP down. GSP is going to bash Virio on that barrage, denying a lot of damage. Rampant's actually going to bop him out of that. GSP getting topped there by Rub Cubs. Pops the Celestial Alignment. He throws out a Star Surge, going for a Cyclone here onto Virio. And Jinzel, in the meantime, is almost tapped on mana. He's been overhealing a significant amount to keep his team completely topped. Caught in the Deep Freeze. He's going to throw down the Grounding Totem, trying to line of sight and reconvene with Rampant, but he gets full polymorph nonetheless. Rampant is very scared here, line of sighting. He does have Avenging Wrath available in 3 seconds for another turnaround here. Rub Cubs with no bubble, only his trinket. Rampant gets Hodge up here. No way out of this Hodge. Jinzel leaves the clone. He's got to reconnect. He gets rooted out of line of sight. Drops the Windwalk Totem, tries to reconnect. Rampant pops the wings to try and make another turnaround happen. Throws the Hodge onto Rub Cubs. Wyvern onto Bert. GSP displaces away. He's locked out. He can't dispel the Wyvern. Rub Cubs gets trapped on his trinket. GSP dipping low down to 50%. Saved by the Light's going to proc Bert. Desperation polymorphs coming out here. 9%! He's not going to survive! The Purge on the bump instantly! Jinzel stripped it instantly. I see one global of Purge, and he got it off in that one global and took him down.
And GSP had his bark skin again for that entire duration. Like he could have just bark skinned. I don't know, a little bit of a misusage of cooldowns there, but that was very well done by Flex Launcher, capitalizing on that.
Absolutely, man. And now all of a sudden, this Ret Hunter Shaman team, they're back in tournament number 16, and they're here to play and make their mark on GCD TV. And what a fantastic series coming out from both of these teams. Just want to take a moment to shout out Bert, GSP, and Rub Cubs. Thank you guys so much for coming out and competing. I hope to see you in the future. But Flex Launcher will advance. Let's take a quick look at the brackets so far, guys. I mean, we just went through Losers Round 2. So, in Losers Round 3, we will see Kids of Freak 2.0 going up against Flex Launcher, this Ret Hunter Shaman team, going up against potentially a Ret Hunter Shaman team mirror or even a jungle. So that's going to be very, very interesting. And then after that, we have the loser semifinals, and the teams that will be competing up against Drop Novos Were Good. After that series will determine who's going to be competing in the finals.